All right, I'm going to actually do two videos responding Rorex to your post here. I'm going to do this video, which is what you need to hear today. After I finish recording this, I'm going to upload it to YouTube. I'll post it to Forex Factory. I'm then going to record a second video because I want to do it based on on today's price data, this same chart, same question, but you're not ready for that video yet. I'm going to withhold that probably for a few weeks, month. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. At any rate, and now if anything I say, or if I say something in any way that sounds as though I'm, trying to be a know-it-all, pump up my ego at the expense of you, that's not my intent. I'm trying very carefully to make sure I don't come across that way, because in the end, I do believe you're putting forth a proper effort. And that's always something that I look for, is someone putting forth the proper effort. Now, the proper effort doesn't mean that you're doing everything correctly, but your effort is proper, pushing in the right direction. And where you are today relative to the fixed bar methodology and the exercise is nearly where I was at this time last year. I was a little ahead because I had experienced this roulette epiphany. And I don't know that you're as yet experienced it. I don't believe that you've yet internalized the import of the idea that if you trust your edge and your method, if you stick to your rules, you take only the setups it gives you, if you're patient, and if you think in terms of weeks and months, never today or even tomorrow, that you will make a lot of money and live a life very few can afford. Now, I read that to myself every day, but I don't need to read it. I can recite it. I know it. It's part of me now. It was not a part of me a year ago like it is now. I had to work at it. And so the first thing I'm going to say is you should go to those videos, copy that affirmation, and you need to make it a real living part of every day that you trade. I'll post the links again to the videos, on the Gonzalo Garcia Pelayo biographies. There's a 15-minute video, and then there's a longer 45-minute video. But that's really important to this. That mindset. Mindset's probably a poor word for it. I mean, it is really, like, it's a way of, it's a perspective on what we're doing. And so much of what we do, all of what we do is perspective. In fact, Roger Haas says in this excellent response to you, and I would urge you to copy this as well. This is just excellent. And he says down here, your original question is questioning two separate trades connected by absolutely nothing except your perception. Wow. This is an excellent post. I wish I had composed that myself. I could have composed that myself. I might not have done it as well. But I mean, this is Roger Ha's way of expressing the roulette epiphany, right? Roger gets it. You need to get it, but you're not there yet. And that's not a bad thing. It's something we develop. And I'm not sure you're focusing on it as much as you should. Perhaps you're not focusing on it at all. So this part of my response to you is to let you know that it's not enough just to do the exercise. You really need to internalize the perspective on this activity of trading that the roulette epiphany, that affirmation will give you. So you have to add that to your daily repertoire. Like I said, I read it every day. It's the first thing I read when I start up my trading platform. And I read it out loud, and then I read it to myself. And I don't need to read it. I could recite it right now. I know it. And I can say it while I'm trading. There's times where I find myself unconsciously saying it to myself under my breath while I'm in a trade. It's that important. So at any rate, VidVad, what would you do in this situation? So again, I'm going to do 2 videos. This video, my response is going to be what I would do if I were you, based on where you are. What would I do if this were November of 2024 and I was just embarking on this path? Because there are millions of paths we can travel on in our attempt to become consistently profitable traders. I think this is the best one, the easiest one. Or I should say the simplest one. Probably the easiest one, though it's not easy. And your question here shows that. So I don't know what I've said so far. I've rambled so long, but if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. Again, get rid of the 15-minute chart. You're doing a 30-minute fixed bar. You shouldn't be looking at anything but a 30-minute chart. Get rid of the candlesticks. That's my suggestion. Use open, high, low, close bars. Don't use candlesticks. They create a different perception that is contrary to what we're trying to accomplish here. In fact, when you switch to open, high, low, close bars, this time last year, I wasn't using multicolored bars. I only used black bars. So whether the close was above the open or the close was below the open, all my bars are the same color. Because I found that by differentiating the color, that, for example, if I were in a long trade and I saw a red bar where the current bar turned red, that could affect my perception and it could affect my ability to stick to my trading plan. For me, it's no longer a problem. But it was a long, hard year to get to this point. So I don't mean to tell you what to do, but I'm making these strong suggestions because I know they helped me. And based on what you're asking, I believe they will help you. Don't look at any chart besides the 30-minute gold. Don't trade anything other than gold for 20 days. 30-minute gold. It's the only chart you need. So what would VidVad have done today? Here's this 30-minute chart. What's the trading plan? You're going to trade this 30-minute fixed bar that opens at 7:30 a.m. New York City time and closes at 8 a.m. New York City time. When this bar closes, you're going to put a buy stop 1 tick above the high to go long, sell stop 1 tick below the low to go short. When the trade is filled, if the long trade is triggered, your stop loss is 1 tick below the low of the reference bar. If the sell stop is triggered and you initiate a short position, your stop loss is 1 tick above the high. Your take profit is the 61.8% extension of your reference bar. So, none of this matters. None of this matters. You have your reference bar. You got your long entry. That's what triggered. You have your stop loss. You have your take profit. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. Because if you trust your edge and your method, and if you take only the setups it gives you, if you are patient, you think in terms of days and weeks, weeks and months, never today or even tomorrow, you will make a lot of money and live a life very few can afford. But that's it. Rorex, that's it. You're doing too much. Okay, I think what you're trying to say is, I did a video where I said there are 3 reference bars I found to be the ones I would focus on in building a trading plan. The one you're using here, which is 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. New York. There's a second one that opens at 9 a.m. and closes at 9:30 a.m. in New York. And then there's a third one, and that's the bar that opens at 11 a.m. and closes at 11:30 a.m. in New York. Never said I would trade the same instrument on all 3. Never, 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 never. You build a trading plan around one of them. So for example, I use this one for gold. I use this one for the YM and the NQ. If I'm going to use this one, again, it's probably going to be YM and NQ or NQ and YM, but I'm not usually trading this late in the day. But pick one. So none of this matters. So there's no question. What would Vidvad do? Vidvad wouldn't even be watching at this point. Okay, the trade triggered here. I had to wait, 35, 40 minutes. It didn't trigger on this second, on the bar immediately following the reference bar. But once this trade is in, and I know that my stop loss is placed correctly, and my take profit is placed correctly, I can walk away, and I might not come back to the computer until 5, 6 o'clock at night. And that's when I find out, took a loss. Or, it hit my take profit. That's what Vidvad would do. At this stage, that's where you are. There's no refinements. You're looking for refinements, and you've done 6 or 7 days. You need to be following the plan and collecting your data. That's what the spreadsheet's for, is you collect your data. You don't make any decisions yet. You just collect the data. There are things you may be collecting this month that 2 months from now you might say, you know what, I don't need this, and you'll stop collecting it. But there are things you're not even paying attention to today that 3, 4, 8 months from now, you might be like, you know what, I really should be keeping track of this. And then you're going to add it to your spreadsheets. But right now, you need to prove to yourself that you're capable of following the simplest trading plan of all. Because if you can't do this without already straying and causing problems for yourself and confusion, you're not going to make it. That's the honest truth. You're not going to make it. You're going to be one of us. You'll be like me and spend 15 years until you finally realize this is where you should be. Or you're going to be like any number of people here at Forex Factory. Look at when some of these guys signed up for their accounts. There are guys who've been here since 2006, and they still haven't figured out how to make a living at this. Now, I don't mean to say maybe I said that with a little harshly, and maybe I let some disdain, and I shouldn't do that. I don't mean that. But what I mean is, you got to be, the purpose of the exercise is to learn how to execute a trading plan. And so you're asking all the wrong questions right now, because there shouldn't be any questions right now. You need to focus on the job at hand. Can you get yourself to your workstation by 7:58 a.m. Eastern Time, whatever that might be in your country, your time zone? Can you get to your workstation and have your trading platform open by 7:58, 2 minutes until this bar, the 8 a.m. bar, this closes? And then as that bar is ticking down, I have a bar timer down here, and I'm watching it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So I don't miss entries. Yesterday, this bar was coming into a close. But even though it was quick, if, you could get an order, like my platform, here's how it would work. So high was 81.6. So what I would need to do is get my cursor to 81.7, which isn't always easy. Sometimes, I have to, there it is. I would right click. I would have buy stop market, and I'd be looking at that bar counter. And when that bar counter got to 2 seconds, I'm hitting it like that. And the order would be in. Okay? Since the market's closed, it's probably not going to let me. Now I'm stuck. Now I'm stuck. Let me see what happens if I disconnect. Okay, got rid of it finally. Okay. Anyway, that's what I would do. Follow the rules. Don't think. Stop thinking. The only thing that matters is where should I get long and where should I get short based on the high and low of my reference bar. Then place the appropriate orders so that if price goes through that high, you're long, and if it goes through that low, you're short. And then once you're long, make sure your stop loss is in place correctly, your take profit is in place correctly, and go. Get away from the computer. Just let it go. Come back in, 3 hours, 4 hours and see what's going on. That's what VidVad would do. And that's what you should do. You gotta do it that way. Now, are there refinements? Absolutely. I've been doing this for a year. I have a couple hundred days of data. And on top of that, I have years and years of data from trading. price action. Again, I've used indicators. I've done it all. I've done all kinds of stupid stuff. Been down every rabbit hole, I think. Well, not every one, but I've been down enough rabbit holes. But so there are refinements. And I'm going to do another video where I share some refinements I've made to my trading plan. But they are of none of your concern at this stage, Rorex. Please, just stick to these simple rules. What's the saying? I've heard it so many times, so many places, so many forums. What is it? Trading is simple, but it sure ain't easy. And you're proving it right now. I mean, very simple rules. Based on your chosen reference bar, at what price do you need to get long? Place an order there, buy stop. Based on your chosen reference bar, where would you need to get short? Place the appropriate order there, a sell stop. Once you're long or once you're short, place the appropriate stop loss, the appropriate take profit. You are done for the day. You don't need to watch your chart. Walk away. Go for a jog, go for a walk, get a job, go to work. You know, do anything. That's what you should do. That's what you should do. You should 100%, it doesn't have to be a great job. Get something. Get a job as a cashier somewhere. Get a paper route. I mean, I don't know if they have paper routes in your country. I don't even know if we still have paper routes here. But just get something that gets you out of your house. And, because in fact, if you have a trading platform, like what I can do here with NinjaTrader, every day when this bar closes, as I can see what the range is. And so I can set my automated trade management strategy so that if the buy stop is filled, it'll automatically place the correct stop loss and it will automatically place the correct take profit. So my workday could start at 7:58 because I want to be here with about 2 minutes to spare before this bar closes. And then by a few seconds after 8 a.m., I have my buy stop, my sell stop, and I could leave and let it work out. What happens, happens. That's the point of the roulette epiphany. If you trust your edge and your method and you take only the setups it gives you, ... you're going to make a lot of money and live a life very few can afford. But you can't rush it. Everybody who tries to rush this never gets there. If you take it slow and you're patient and you're willing to accept the fact that it's going to take 2, 3, 6, 9 months, you could be in a completely different financial situation this time next year. Completely different. You can change your life in a way most people could never even dream of. But if you can't do this basic part, you're not going to get there. Okay? So, wow. I spent 25 minutes on this. Sorry about that. Anyway, I will record a second response, but you're not ready for it. But I'll be following your progress if you keep posting to the thread. And when I feel it's appropriate, I'll post the second part of this video. But good luck. Keep up the effort. And again, I hope you understand all of what I said was in a spirit of helping. I think you're doing great. So just keep it up, but stick to the plan. Have a great day, a great weekend.